This is the month of January, and this is Capricorn season. Capricorn actually started December 22nd. Pretty much takes me a little time sometimes to do these zodiac series because I want to, got a format that I run, and I just have to compile all of the data, add things that, my own unique experience or viewpoints as far as how I look at things. And it takes me a little time, but I, finally got things compiled, and I'm going to, talk about Capricorn today. So Capricorn's date range is December 22nd to January 19th. It is an earth sign. The planet is Saturn. I believe Capricorn is the first earth sign that I actually, out of my zodiac series, it's actually, I think, the first earth sign that I actually got around to. Because I think I started my zodiac series, I believe, in Leo. I believe I started with Leo. So I'm gonna end with if I started with Leo, I'm gonna end with Cancer. So most likely, yeah, this is the first Earth sign that I actually talked about. The planet of Capricorn is Saturn, and its symbol is the goat. Typically, Capricorn's personality is smart, hardworking, and fully in control of their own destiny. Capricorn will always get what they set their mind to in both personal and professional life with no excuses. Capricorns may get a reputation as being stubborn, but they simply know what they want and also know how they wish other people would behave. So some of your famous deceased Capricorns, quite a few people that I had no idea that were Capricorns. Um, Martin Luther King Jr., Muhammad Ali, Aaliyah, Stan Lee of the Marvel comics, Donna Summer, Madam C.J. Walker, Joe Frazier, George Washington Carver, and Al Capone. It's quite interesting. So Muhammad Ali, when he fought Joe Frazier, he literally was fighting someone with the same sign as him. That's very, very interesting. So they were both Capricorns. These are very historical figures. As far as all of those names that I just mentioned. Now, one of the most famous Capricorns that I have to say alive is definitely LeBron James. Okay. I know people, probably because Michelle Obama is definitely second, but okay, just think to yourself, okay, who's talked about more in most households? Is it LeBron James or is it Michelle Obama? Okay, hands down. Even though it's NBA season, right, we're under right now. Even outside of the NBA season, what is the great debate? I haven't got to Aquarius yet. Aquarius is right around the corner. My mom was an Aquarius. My mom's twin was an Aquarius. So it's like basically the debate is always, is Michael Jordan the best or is LeBron now also the best? Who's the GOAT? Is it LeBron, or which is actually a Capricorn, or is it Michael Jordan? They don't talk about you know anything regarding, okay, Very few households actually are mentioning Michelle Obama. I mean, the fact that she's, her husband, Barack Obama, is not in office, her name is not mentioned as much. I mean, basically, LeBron is definitely holding the title to all Capricorns. It's been that way. I've noticed that way for a long time. I mean, when he came in the league, they literally gave him the King James title. He held that crown for quite a long time. Okay, so yeah, definitely dead second. Southside Chicago native, wife of Barack Obama, and also boss of Barack Obama, Michelle Obama. Okay, she is definitely a Capricorn, business savvy. LeBron, a lot of these people are very, very business savvy. That's one of the things about Capricorn. Capricorn is very, very business savvy. They're very, very, very business savvy. Um, I will also mention another individual later, but yeah, a lot of these people, I didn't know they're actually Capricorns. Moving along further, one of my favorite actors, Mr. Equalizer, Denzel Washington, is a Capricorn. Tiger Woods, which is one of my favorite golfers as well, is also a Capricorn. Had no idea. And Dominique Wilkins. Okay, you young people, you probably don't know about Dominique Wilkins, but I'm gonna just tell you like this: just go on YouTube and put in Dominique Wilkins. Dominique Wilkins was actually the heir apparent to your Michael Jordan in his same era, and they used to go back and forth, man. I don't know, NBA All Star dunk contest, and literally Dominique Wilkins, man, used to give Michael Jordan a run for his money. As far as the dunk contest, I had to put him on the list, man. Okay, Lewis Hamilton, he's a very highly skilled race car driver. He pretty much is very much the brand representative for Mercedes Benz. And yours truly, Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey, the hardest working businessman in show business. Mr. Steve Harvey is definitely a bona fide Capricorn. Okay, he is the heir. I mean, of Capricorn, man. He works. He don't hardly sleep. He's constantly business, routine. Man, got more jobs than a Jamaican. That's definitely Capricorn, man. Um, Steve Harvey. Okay, Mary J. Blige. She is also a Capricorn. And yeah, Mary J, man, she got all kind of hits, man, and she's been, pretty much putting out hits since I was in high school, and that was like over 20 years ago. Mary J definitely, man, be in that studio putting in classics. She is a Capricorn. Kim Jong Un, leader of North Korea. Did not know he was a Capricorn. Never even really thought about it, but yes, he's a Capricorn. Okay. Uh, Roy Jones Jr. just fought Mike Tyson in freaking AARP sponsored boxing match. One thing about that is Roy Jones, man, actually before he even uh kind of retired and everything, he'd been a sports announcer. Roy was a beast, man. One thing about Roy Jones is that a lot of people don't know, especially young up and coming boxers. Roy Jones used to fight chickens. He's from down south in Pensacola, Florida. He used to watch chickens fight, and he patterned his fighting style off of the chickens that he actually used to breed and fight and whatnot, and that is what helped him be one of the pound for pound, one of the greatest, mentioned boxers in history. Okay, Roy Jones was one of the unique fighters, such as Mike Tyson. That's why I would say that even them being old, seeing them fight and all that, which I've not even seen the fight, but uh, Roy Jones is one of those pound for pound fighters where he has a lot of belts. He had a lot of belts from different, um, boxing leagues. He's was an undisputed title holder as far as boxing. One thing that I learned from somebody that I worked a little gig job with. He said when you got someone like another person that was an undisputed champion was Mike Tyson. You have people like that where they're undisputed, that stands out over other boxers because they have different belts from different leagues. So yeah, Roy Jones was definitely one of those undisputed champions, boxers. And lastly, John Legend is a Capricorn. Mr. Wedding Singer. One of my cousins, he got married with one of his songs. I can't even think of the song, but he definitely has a lot of little love ballads, little wedding. Like if you ever did get married, man, you probably go at your little you know uh wedding ceremony, post ceremony, let's just say, you gonna play some John Legend hits, man. So another person I want to mention is Charlie Munger. Okay, Charlie Munger is a Capricorn. He is the basically the man that invested not Bill Gates, but Warren Buffett a whole bunch of money. How he got his upstart was Charlie Munger. Charlie Munger loaned him some bread, and he got that money and reinvested it about 1 billion times, and they both became billionaires. I mean, I'm looking for my Charlie Munger because, I haven't got to Virgo yet, but actually I did get to Virgo. So this would be my second Earth sign. Okay, so yeah, I stand corrected, but yet Warren Buffett is a Virgo, and Charlie Munger is a Capricorn. So yeah, I'm still looking for my Charlie Munger because I mean, if I can get some bread, I can get these investments off the ground, man. And yeah, he definitely very well highly skilled businessman, Charlie Munger. Some of the Capricorn's traits, their strengths are being independent, great socially, great at keeping secrets because they're very very quiet people. A lot of Capricorns, they're quiet, but they're extroverted, which is kind of weird. They being quiet, extroverted at the same time. That's how Capricorns roll. They're responsible, very very responsible. Discipline is if you just had to say one word about Capricorns, that just saying discipline, that one word discipline is enough. Okay, you don't even have to say everything else. You just say discipline, and there you have it. Because Capricorns are very very disciplined. Self control. They have a lot of self control. Very good managers. I couldn't say that more than enough. That many times that I've already said it. They can keep routines for a lifetime. Man, okay, my grandfather, he had, several businesses, and routinely he would wake up, him and my grandmother, at like before dawn, before the crack of dawn, like 4 in the morning, and they would, basically go to the store, open up, get everything going, stock the shelves, make sure, like I remember one time they had a cat, and the cat had killed a little mouse over the night, and pick the rat up or mouse and throw it in the trash. I mean, just clean up, from the previous day, and make sure everything, all the stocks, shelves are stocked and stuff like that. Man, he did that every single day, Monday through Sunday, and man, I mean, just routinely. And he was very, very successful on a small business level, because most small business don't see no $1 million in revenue. And I'm gonna tell you this: he had a partner. So he made that $1 million mark with freaking a partner, where he had to split profits. So I mean, that just goes to show, even still having a partner was still able to make that. So he's making a lot of money back in, a long time ago. But I mean, he ain't definitely ain't making that now. But I mean, he's had that routine going for since the 1960s all the way to the 90s. Okay, that same routine, and I'm gonna talk more about my grandfather, as far as some things that I think that he should have did different. About 5 different things I'll point out. But yeah, man, he ain't keep routines, man, for a long time, their whole life, damn near. So those are definitely strengths of Capricorn. Another thing that is Capricorn's weaknesses is they can be somewhat moody and temperamental. They can be annoyed rather quickly, and also they're know-it-alls. A lot of times they don't like to be told, like, that they're wrong. Like, I remember my grandfather; he would literally ask me a question, and he would ask the question with the premise that he already knew the answer. I mean, it was very weird, and that's kind of how they roll, man. They kind of have a know-it-all type of persona, especially if they look at you as a person that's kind of somewhat inferior. Like, for me, I've been broke my entire life, so my grandfather asking me questions, yeah, I mean, like, well, how does this motherfucker know what what this is, and I don't, but I did. But the thing about it is they're also unforgiving, very condescending. They expect the worst a lot of times, because they, as a good manager, a good businessman, that's one of the traits that you need to run a business. You need to have disaster preparedness. And part of that is, what is the worst that could happen? What are you protected from this? Or are you someone that is well insured and everything like that? That's a trait of any good successful manager, or even executive that's running the company. Being able to expect the worst is sometimes a good thing, and is also bad thing, because then you become kind of somewhat pessimistic too, and that definitely is one of those things that Capricorn exudes. So they can also hold long-standing grudges. They can often be jealous of other people, and can be very vengeful. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna definitely talk about that. Them being very vengeful. Common problems, I would say, for Capricorns is having burnout, because they work so much. They, are, being a manager is very, very stressful. Running a business, whether it be small, big business, is definitely highly stressful. So yeah, they can get burned out quite a bit, and then have fatigue that's associated with that from working those long hours. Because let me tell you something, as a business owner myself, that is not a Capricorn, you're gonna work more hours than a normal 9 to 5 job, which is 40 hours typically. Well, with the business, a typical small business owner is gonna work a full-time job and also at the very least a part-time job. So it is very normal for someone to work. Like, for example, I remember I used to calculate that I used to work between 60 to 70 hours at my computer shop when I had my computer store. And I wasn't even hardly making any money, hardly. It was like days where I made very little money. And I remember just weekly clocking in over 70 hours, and yeah, the thing about it is that comes with burnout and definitely for being fatigued and tired. But the thing about it is I had made a setup where I put a little futon in the back. So whenever I got tired, I just I remembered the captain's chambers in the ship when I was in the Navy. They had a little the little office with a little bed in the office actually. And I just set up the same thing. Like I just, put a little futon in the back. So whenever I got tired, I would stay well rested and very, very, and I had a lot of very good performance from that because, I was well rested. So whenever it was like, downtime and I had no customers and I was very tired, I just go back on the futon, lay down for, till literally the bell rung on my door for a customer to come up. I'll just open them up and, I done already got about a good hour or two nap, so that definitely comes with that, being, Capricorn, working all of those different tasks and jobs and stuff like that, and being that manager role. And they also have high blood pressure prone, I would say high blood pressure, working long hours, staying up and, doing a lot of different things. Eating, bad diet as well. They typically, I would say Capricorns that, have issue with that, man. Definitely insomnia. It plays into that, and also alcoholism. Capricorns, like I said, they're quiet, but also they're extroverted. They're not introverted. Okay, so they're Earth sign, but like they're different than Virgo, whereas Virgos typically are introverted, right? Well, Capricorn are shy, kind of, quiet, but at the same time, they're also extroverted. Okay, they're one of the few Earth signs. I'm gonna talk about Taurus when that comes up, but basically, Capricorn is an Earth sign that is extroverted, typically extroverted, not introverted. Okay, so they love going to parties. They go to bars. I mean, they absolutely love, being in a party setting or going to a tavern or pub or any type of like event and stuff like that. They love that type of stuff. That is right up their alley. So drinking a lot is something that they do. Alcoholism is definitely something that they have a problem with. It can have a problem with. I mean, this is not all encompassing. This is just a generalization of Capricorn. So the Capricorn's compatibility, the other signs that they are most compatible with is Taurus and Cancer. Okay, so that is what they say pretty much. Capricorns are compatible with. Okay, recommended careers are, I would definitely first on that list would be manager. Another would be teacher and entertainment host. I think something to Steve Harvey's credit. He's freaking on TV and radio. I think that even John Legend, he's on a TV show, I believe, something about singing, right? But yeah, I think they make good hosts as far as entertainment hosts. I think they are really good at being a detective. I can see a Capricorn, because see, thing about Capricorn, the keeping up with good routines, that ain't nothing but someone that's somewhat of a soldier type mindset. Okay, that's very good for someone that is a detective, because a detective, or being a cop or a detective, is like basically it's a civilian side of like being in the military. Okay, so you got you got the military, and then below um the military is actually like your police, your civilian police that is a line of defense to the public, right? So a Capricorn, I would say, would be a bona fide, great detective. Okay, as well as, even I would say, police officer, because a lot of time if I say detective, I'm pretty much, you can just put in police, and it will be no argument. Okay, so another thing is like I see Capricorn as being good as far as being in the military, as being like a high-ranking military commander, because um, having that routine, having all of those like attributes that Capricorn has, it just goes very well with something like being in a military setting, where everything is pretty much a routine. It's very business. Your job is to basically provide defense to the country, and you are, doing these routines every day, and you are enforcing these, people to follow these routines. That's right up Capricorn's alley. Okay, my personal experience, I got, family members that basically were Capricorns, as well as coworkers. Um, my my grandfather, I can talk a little small talk, but he don't like to talk for long periods of time. Most men that are Capricorns, they don't like the long talk. The small talk is cool, but I'm gonna just tell you, Capricorns don't like that long talk. They like, man, why don't you go somewhere, sit and, go talk to somebody else. Like all that, like Virgos tend to kind of like to talk a little bit, but yeah, Capricorns, they don't, even my sister, man, my late sister, they don't like that long talk. Small talk is cool. But if you going, talking, trying to have long dialogue conversations, they got other friends that they like to talk to for maybe long periods of time, but they don't like certain individuals to talk long with like that. Um, they like prefer primarily with certain people. With most people, they just like the little small talk. You know, like talk about sports and stuff like that. Or current events. Like, I mean, my sister, I used to always mention little, current events and stuff that happen. And it's like talking about long dialogues. They don't like that. Okay, so yeah, I mean, the definite thing that I'll say with Capricorns is most of the people, all of the people in my family, and then even a coworker that I used to work with that was a Capricorn. And one thing about this coworker I used to work with, he I knew what his sign was, and he didn't even tell me. I remember sitting in the I was working in the IT setting, and before I asked him, I was like, what's your sign? Basically, I was like, basically, don't even tell me. I'll guess. You're a Capricorn. And I'll never forget, man, how his eyes lit up, because he was like, man, how the hell did you know that? Because the reason why I picked up on it was he said he had some type of business where he had a custom shop or whatever, that he did custom cars. And I was like, oh, that's bona fide Capricorn. I had already knew that because I knew my grandfather and whatnot, and I linked that together. And he was shocked that I actually knew what his sign was. Now, yeah, as far as my relationships and whatnot, I don't, like I said, my actual point where I started to zero in on zodiacs, it's only been, I would say, for the last 15 years. Now, I can't remember any woman that I've been with in that time frame that has been a Capricorn. Okay, I might have been with Capricorns before that time, but I just didn't know it because I just never really paid attention to it. Like, you know, way back when. I just recently, within the last 15 years, really started to take basically the zodiac, the astrology concept more serious. So, as far as, you know what, I'll tell you this. It was a woman that lived. She lived in New Jersey. I was trying to basically have some type of long distance relationship with her. She was an attorney at the time, and she was supposed to come to Chicago from New Jersey, but she was kind of turned off because I was extremely broke at the time. I had no job. I was popped, right? She was like, "Man, you ain't even got money for a hotel either. So you talking about I gotta get a flight plus a hotel?" She was like turned off, man. But the thing is that that was my one experience that I can say from a Capricorn. But yeah, I think that me and Capricorns, I don't necessarily know how that would work. It could work. I believe it could, but it would. I think that if it did, I think I would have a Capricorn woman, and we just go into business together. And if we can do something else, but we definitely, it'll be a combination of more like a kind of a power couple. I see that type of thing, where we're business, but we also are in a relationship at the same time. That's how I can see that dynamic playing out. I'm not saying I would not write off a Capricorn. I definitely, if a woman told me she was a Capricorn, I wouldn't be like, all right, nah, because in certain signs, I definitely, I'll be like, okay, this is gonna be something that's gonna be challenging. One sign is Aries, and another one is Aquarius. When women tell me those, I already most of the time know they ain't popping off nothing. It ain't, it ain't unless it's like, something else going on. Like it ain't. It's I mean, almost very slim chances here. But other than that, I mean, like I said, Capricorn, I definitely don't think that that is something for me being a Virgo as a write off. I think it actually might work out. Um, you know, but serial killers on the serial killer list. Here's the thing. Because I'm before I talk about the serial killer list, I'm gonna say something else about Capricorns, okay? That I did not mention. Okay, a couple things. So one thing about Capricorn is I'm gonna go back to their planet, which is Saturn, and just take the U and the R out of it, and you got Satan. A lot of times people have I've mentioned I mean not mentioned, but I've heard mentioned that Capricorns can, very very evil, can be very 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 evil, right? Such as like devil, right? I know this is going real left real quick, real dark, real black pillish, but yeah, Saturnalia, Satan, is something correlated with that. And then also another thing, kind of a dark side of a Capricorn. One thing I'm gonna go zero back to your, favorite, one of your favorite, TV hosts, Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey is associated with basically, man, some of the most serious types of syndicate type people, man. These are his close friends, confidants, man. Capricorn, because they're so um in a lifestyle, or their drive for financial success is so great, man. They would do all kind of things to make money. They would, be a, pimp. They pimping, and being a pimp is not uncommon. Being also even worse, a hitman, that is nothing uncommon for a Capricorn. Some of the darkest Capricorns, they'll do anything for money. They'll sell their firstborn for some money. They'll sell all kind of things. They'll sell you for money. I'm not gonna just say that. Okay, nobody else wouldn't do that in general. But Capricorns, one of the dark sides of Capricorns is that when it comes to money, they'll do a lot of things to keep that business going, to keep some money in their pocket. Because, like, for example, I'm gonna say one thing about extroverted people. One of the key things between the difference between introverted and extroverted people, such as Capricorn being extroverted, a lot of times extroverted people have more of a drive to be very egotistical, and also try to keep up with the Joneses. Because they're around the Joneses. I mean, I myself, and most people, that we have some type of desire to fit in society. Don't get me wrong, but Capricorn is out in the club. He or she is hitting the clubs up, and they're around other people, and they're socially competing. So in that drive to be continue to buy the nice clothes and keep up with the nice cars, and have the nice houses and stuff like that, to keep up appearances, they will do some illegal activities, deviant activities, to get money. Okay, so I have to put that all the way out there. Okay, now another thing, as far as, like, just to prelude into what I was talking about originally, was very, very interesting, and that's why I had to point out all of those other things I just mentioned. On the serial killer list, Capricorn is number one of all serial killers, with 55 confirmed serial killers that are Capricorn. Okay, so you definitely don't want to mess with no Capricorn, man. They will cap your ass. So this is all I have for Capricorn. I see some eyeballs. Um, you know, I don't know if you wanna, you type a one in the chat if you wanna actually talk about your viewpoint, as far as if you know anything about Capricorn. I'll drop the link, and then we can chop it up a little bit, because I see some people actually watching. I mean, I was just trying to get this presentation off. So, not necessary. I just started going live doing these things because it just kind of makes it easier. Now, if you want a dialogue about this, type of one in the chat, and I'll drop a link. So let me know if you got some viewpoints on Capricorn, your experiences. Are you a Capricorn yourself? Was I on point as far as the presentation on Capricorn, or was I off point on some things, or did I miss anything about Capricorn? Type of one in the chat if you want me to actually drop the link for you to come on and talk about it. I'll give you guys a second to think about that. I'm gonna play a little commercial, and
What's going on? This is the Broke Genius, and welcome to the life of a broke genius. Welcome to my channel.
Okay, so you guys are just lurking. I don't know. Maybe this is just some kids that just hopped on before they got to go to school today. I don't know, but okay. You guys have a good one.